In this video, we're going to be looking at types of angles. So how we classify those angles. Now, it might be something that we've done before, but we just want to be able to make sure that you can name them correctly and that we can adjust them or at least classify them according to their size. So there's going to be, again, a little bit of definition writing down in your notes as we go through. But we're going to start off firstly with an acute angle. So an acute angle is one that is between 0 and 90 degrees. So I'll get the highlighter out. Okay, so it's an acute angle is between 0 and 90 degrees. So you can see here these two examples. Okay, and a 90 degree shape is something like this. Okay, we'll look at that a bit later. But it's any shape that is sort of in, or at least angle, which is in between 0 and 90. And we can see that is true for these ones here. So we know that they're smaller than 90 degrees. And a nice way to think about it is that you want to think of maybe cute. Think of cute as small. Okay, we refer to cute things as small, you know, cute baby, etc. So it's something that's between 0 and 90 degrees. Now, right angle, is what we call 90 degrees. And you'll notice that, you can see in these ones how these shapes have a sort of a semicircle or a small circle. A right angle has a box in the corner. And that refers to that it's going to be a sort of like on a straight line. So a straight line there, straight line there. It's going to be perpendicular to that. And we refer to a 90 degree angle as a right angle. From there, an obtuse. An obtuse is now in between 90 and 180 degrees. So these ones here, you'll see if we drew a 90 degree angle, you can see it's greater than 90 degrees. So both of these, even though it's sort of upside down, you can tell that it's greater than 90 degrees, but less than 180. And we call that an obtuse angle. Now, straight angle, which you should all know, is equivalent to 180 degrees. So it's basically a straight line, and if we measured around that, you'll find that that is 180 degrees. Now, more than 180 degrees is what we call a reflex angle. And this is between 180 and 360. So previously, we went up in increments of 90 degrees. So we had acute, we had 90, then we had between 90. After straight, we pretty much go in between 100 and 360. It's just greater than 100, and that is a reflex angle. So even if it is, okay, so if we draw a straight line across there, that would be the straight angle, which is 180. So anything on the other 180 side is what we call a reflex angle. Key thing again is you need to understand that this here part here represents the angle. So if we looked at this one and we assumed, then we thought that that was the line, we might think that that is an acute angle, but no, then it's asking here where the circle goes around, or the angle, the semicircle goes around. That's where you measure from. So that is a reflex. And the other key one here is that obviously a revolution or a full part of a circle is equal to 360 degrees. That's what we call a revolution. So now that we know that, let's just do a couple of quick practices, see if we can name these as we go through. Now, and again, it says name these types of angles. So hopefully you looked at the previous video of how we name that. So the angle, okay, that's the angle shape, AOB. Okay, angle AOB, and I can see that that is less than 90 degrees, and I know that that is an acute angle. Okay, so now we move to B, and again I'll label it, so the angle of EFG. So it's above 90 degrees, so if I drew my line here, I know it's above 90 degrees, but less than 180, which is a straight. So as we look back here, we can see that that is an obtuse angle. Okay, so I'll write that down there. And lastly, now we have the angle is on this side, and okay, it's above the it's bigger than 180, which is a straight. So the angle of DOE, and again we'll just check back at our notes, is a reflex. So it's in between 180 and 360. So I'll write that there. And that's how we can then classify those shapes. So as long as you know these basic ones here, you can sort of classify them as we go, and it should be easy for you to do from that. Next, we're going to be looking at how we actually measure angles. We'll be using a protractor and how we can actually use that, whether it's online or in real life, I suppose, how we can actually measure angles, and then we'll be able to classify them in a bit more detail. Thanks, guys.